Hello, everybody. Joe Donuts here, and welcome back for another episode of Tsukihime Remake. Where last time we left off, more stuff happened that I can't remember off the top of my head because it was a couple days ago. Because, dude, I had the shittiest week this week. Work was ass. Like we do work, doing things, doing stuff that I can't get into details about because I signed an NDA. But it was all day long, redundant work to rediscover the same stuff we already knew because we were told to do it and our hands were tied. And that's one thing that made it really frustrating. Two is that it required me staying late for like 2 to 3 hours every single day. And except for yesterday, yesterday was the one day where we got off at a normal time, but I still had to stay late for another thing. And I was just fucking sour grapes, like just absolutely crabby. I did not want to sit down in front of this microphone and bring that energy to my recording session because, oh man, I wouldn't have had fun doing it. You wouldn't have fun listening to it unless you like hearing me really, really annoyed, and not in like a fun way either. Like I wouldn't have been like, oh, he's real snarky today. It'd be like, no, I would just be quiet. I might be a little snippy, but it was not a good environment for showing myself off to the world. So I made the executive decision that I will absolutely the fuck not be recording after work this week. And I can tell you, it was probably a good idea, you know, because even the next day when I went into work, that energy carried forward, and it was just do the exact same thing, and it was getting worse and worse and worse, and it's like ooh, ooh, and some annoying things happened beyond our control that made things even harder, and it was a nightmare. It was an absolute fucking nightmare this week. I worked probably close to like a 60-hour week. Straight ass. Do not recommend. Uh, Not even go past go. Do not collect $200 because I'm salaried, so I don't get any overtime. So they're like, just sucks to suck, lol. And let me tell you, it did suck. It sucked really, really bad. But today is a new day. However you want to look at it, maybe you view Saturday as the start of the new week because it's the weekend and it's the end of the work week, beginning of your free time, and then that free time ends all too quickly, and then you do the exact same thing over again in a couple of days. But on the bright side of things, I was gifted an entire 3-pound rotisserie chicken last night for staying late. It was completely unrelated to the work I was doing this weekend. I was just helping like tear down after an event, put the chairs and tables away. And I guess they had some leftover food, so they're like, "Here you go," and they just put an entire chicken in my hands. I'm like, "Thanks." Not just like the chicken out, like just slop it in my hands and have the juices dripping everywhere. No, it was, you know how it is when you get a rotisserie chicken from the store. It's in like the some places do it in a bag. Some of them do it in like plastic, not quite Tupperware, but you know what I mean. Like one of those boxes, and it was in one of the plastic boxes. So that's what I'm gonna be eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the next 3 days. Because 3 pounds of chicken is a good amount. Some of that weight's gonna come from the bones and whatnot, but again, they're bird bones. They don't weigh a bunch. They're hollow. Even I was about to say chickens don't really fly that much. They can. If you don't clip their feathers, they can like fly up into the trees to roost. Hell, even turkeys do it. I grew up in an area with a lot of wild turkeys, and it was a really wooded area. So in the fall, like right around this time of year, you'd see them like you'd hear like this awful noise, and then you'd look up and you'd see a turkey just kind of like lumbering its way through the air into a tree, and you'd look at it and just go, "Huh, Didn't really think they could do that, but they can. They also like to stand in the road when you're trying to get to school because you're going down some back roads because you live out in the middle of the woods, and it's a narrow road, and they're just all standing there because there's a pond on the other side where they're like getting their morning water, but they just feel like milling about, and they don't actually bother to get out of the street because cars have to stop for them because these are some big fucking turkeys. If you hit one of them at like full speed in your car, you're gonna fuck up the front end. Like, not like hitting a deer, but if you were driving like a sedan or something low to the ground, like your grill's shot, and now you got like turkey giblets all in like your all in your radiator, and that's it's not really good for the system. It might smell good for a little bit before it like burns. You know, maybe you could get a couple minutes of a nice golden brown, poultry smell, but after a while, it's just kind of like, chunky viscera burning and rotting on my car. Yuck. So I'd have to get out. It was a slow road, so I was able to just put my car in park. I had a truck at the time, and I kept call them snow brooms. If you ever see them, they're like kind of looks like a not quite a giant squeegee, but like a big orange foam rectangle with a big stick coming out of the middle, like it's a rake or something, or a shovel handle, and you just use it to like push the snow off your car. All right, because that thing was like 6 feet long and like a big flat wide end, I could just kind of like shuffleboard the turkeys out of the road. It's like once one of them starts going, the others will kind of start to wander off. But you just got to be careful not to get the big boy angry. Kind of like the rooster of the turkey who'll come to try to kick your ass if you mess with the rest of the flock. So just kind of do it from like hiding around the front end of my truck, just kind of poking at them, trying to get them to move. Because they're too stupid. If you lay on the horn, they're just going to look at you. You have to actually give them like physical stimulus to get out of the way. But if you like try to jump out and scare them, again, you might just get your ass kicked by a big turkey. Because they can be mean. Do not recommend getting in a fight. Anyway, we're getting into it. We're in the weeds again. I will thank the turkey segment for kind of calming me down, getting me off the negative mindset there. Just instead of thinking about how much I hate work, it made me think about turkeys instead, and that was nice. So let's hop on in there. Arkin Ciel Rainbow. Haha. I'm pretty sure I brought that up last time, but let's just get things schmoovin', huh? I spring into a sitting position like an alarm had just gone off. My eyes dart up as I try to swallow the urge to vomit burning at the back of my throat. Feels like if my entire body is covered in something red and sticky. I'm sweating profusely. Must have had a particularly horrible nightmare. Yeah, some kind of bad dream. Yeah, you've been having the Roa dreams again. I wipe away the sweat that had formed on my brow and finally start to calm down. Must have been the book I had read before I fell asleep. I can't recall what it was about, but I remember the detail, the makeup of my body, the tools that were used. It all felt more real than any dream I've ever had. Yeah, no one wants to, like, throw up when they're still in bed. Oh, this is bad. I'm feeling nauseous again. Yasui, get the puke bowl. Best not think about it anymore. Feels like something I shouldn't dwell on. As a famous doctor once said, dreams are doomed to be forgotten. Except for the ones that randomly stick with you for no reason, that you remember from your childhood. Like, they're not even particularly impactful, not like a particularly scary nightmare, just like the one dream that hasn't wormed its way out of your head for no reason. I shake my head to clear away the remnants of the dream. I'm thirsty. My arms and legs are still heavy from sleep, but I should get changed and head to the bathroom. Washing my face and drinking some water will help both my nausea and my thirst. Just don't drink it too fast, otherwise you'll just get an upset stomach. As I change out of my pajamas into my uniform, I hear a soft knock on my door.
おはようございます、四季様。失礼しました。今朝もお目覚めになられていたのですね。
Yeah, but you can still say good morning.
ほんの少し前にね。でも、起こしに来てくれてありがとう、翡翠。
It takes some time since my fingers are a bit numb, but I managed to get my shirt buttoned.
四季様。
You're
お着替え
fumbling
を済
around
ませ
like a
たばかり
moron.
ですが、今日はお休みになられてはいかがでしょう。
Oh, he's probably like white as a sheet and just like that, like not quite sweating bullets, but that like just moist, sick look. Huh. Hisui doesn't usually offer her opinion unasked.
いや、休まないよ。だって学校に行かないとシエ。
I stop myself before I say Ciel's name. Ooh, that was close. I shudder to imagine the kind of interrogation Akia would put me through if she heard that.
なんでもない。それよりなんで今日は屋敷で催し物でもあるのか。
いいえ。四季様のお顔の色が、今朝は特に優れないように見えたので。
You know, we all have
それ
those
は
days.
大丈夫。
You're allowed to take a sick
ちょっ
day,
と夢
even
見が
though you
悪くて
seem to do it a
気
lot.
分が
But,
悪かったんだ。
but this one's like a
それ
real,
も
real
顔を
sick
洗え
day.
ば戻るから心配しないでくれ。朝食だろ。洗面所で顔を洗ったらすぐに行くよ。
かしこまりました。ロビーで控えていますので、何かありましたら
Well, speaking
お
of
声を
being
かけてください。
You know, it's not like I'm sick or anything, but I am, you know, a little stoked here. I got my prescription back for Zofran. It's a heavy anti-nausea medication. It really helps if I take it before I work out. I talked with my physician, and she essentially told me there's nothing I can do, and that my body is just fucked. And as sometimes people just have nausea as a symptom of like heavy exertion, like when you say working out a lot. And there's really nothing that can be done about it other than just take these cool pills that tell your body not to throw up. I think how it works is like it sends like chemical blockers to your brain that literally blocks the whatever signals are supposed to trigger the like vomit response. So they're pretty cool. I can recommend them. If you ever get food poisoning, they're a lifesaver. Honest to God. 100% saved my sanity when I had terrible food poisoning like 6-7 years ago. Hisui leaves with a bow. I should get going too. I grab my bag and my glasses, then leave my room so brightly lit by the morning sun. The cold water does little to relieve my headache. Now, if I don't go to school, then I won't be able to see it.
あれ
Nothing. I have no reflection. Well, a second goes by, and I realize the mirror above the sink is gone. Oh yeah, because you punched it the other day. You silly Billy. Except you don't even remember doing it. Which, to be fair, you know, we all kind of go into fugue states occasionally and start breaking things. I may have done it a little bit the other day, during this work week when things got really crazy. And I was super angry and frustrated. I didn't break anything, but when I was alone, oh dude, I kicked the side of our desk so fucking hard, I put a giant dent in it. You know, they're like metal office desks, kind of, with just, you know the kind. The side is just like a sheet metal. But man, I fucking laid into that thing. I wasn't beating on it. It was just one good kick to kind of like get the bad juju out. But now, if you look at it in the right light, there's a good boot toe size dent in it. I go to the lobby where Hisui is waiting for me. Perfect. I can tell her about the mirror.
翡翠、2階の洗面所鏡がないんだけど、どうして外してるんだ。
申し訳ありません。私の手違いで廃棄してしまいました。新しいものを用意していますの
Are
で、
you just
四季
covering?
様がお帰りになられる頃には戻っているかと。
Odd. Oh, alright then. Content with her answer, I make my way to the dining room. With my nausea gone, my appetite has returned. I'm looking forward to the breakfast Kohaku made for me today, too. Alas, reality is cruel. It could be that I'm not in the mood for Western food this morning, but one bite in and I feel like throwing up again.
申し訳ありません。お口に合わないものをお出ししてしまって、すぐに代わりのものをご用意いたしますね。
Or, maybe he's just sick. Kohaku quickly prepares a traditional breakfast for me, but I can't stomach it either. I guess it's not the taste that's the problem. My body just can't handle any food right now. Maybe I should have taken Hisui's advice and stayed in bed all day.
今一度チャンスをください、四季さん。私の信念に反しますが、最終兵器、塩と梅しか使わないお粥を投入しますから。
Like the Japanese pickled sour plums or just regular plum?
いや、謝るのは俺の方だよ、琥珀さん。
Because if it's regular plum, that actually sounds quite nice.
流動食でも無理だろうから、
I
ビ
haven't
タ
had
ミン
plums
剤
in
か何かあ
forever.
ったらもら
Now
え
I
る。
think about it.
あと、できれば頭痛止め。
お任せください。お薬でしたら私の領分ですもの。ではでは、ビタミン剤は糖
Hooray!
分多めで、
New drugs!
頭痛止めは、
It's good for your brain.
そうですね。いい機会ですし、遠野家の方たちご愛用のものをお持ちしますね。
Old rich family medicinal go-tos. It's probably like morphine with like cocaine dissolved into it with a little bit of like lead or something. The medicine Kohaku gives me works wonders. The heaviness in my arms and legs is gone, and my head feels like it never hurt at all. I wanted to have a rock examine me too, just in case, but she's not in today. Apparently, she has to work somewhere else today and left the mansion early.
秋葉は、そっか、もう登校しちゃったか。
It took too much time for breakfast. Or I took too much time. It's 7:30. I'll be tardy if I don't hurry.
行ってくるよ、翡翠。帰りは夕方になる。
Her look of concern still has not faded.
だからもう大丈夫だって。
Says the
琥珀さん
walking
に薬も
corpse.
もらったし。風邪っぽいと思ったら早退するから。
いいえ。そうではなくて。
Oh, yeah, you're not wearing your glasses yet.
今朝はメガネをおかけになられないのですか？
Words make me slap a hand in my face. Oh, I don't have my glasses on. Preoccupied with how I was feeling, I completely forgot about them. I must look different than usual.
そういえばそうだった。これでいいかな。
Yeah, a little more presentable. Does it do much to hide the damage?
いいえ、別にかけていなければいけないと言いたかったのではなく、メガネをかけていない四季様を見るのは珍しいことですので、つい。
Yeah, your morning routine was thrown off. You just forgot an obvious thing. That is true. I've always avoided taking my glasses off in front of people, so as not to look at them with my bare eyes. I just haven't been very good at it these past few days.
お時間を取らせて失礼いたしました。
Ooh, a little Hisui blush?
いってらっしゃいませ、四季様。どうかお早いお帰りを。
Hisui like the Meganes? Hisui sees me off as I step outside. Squinting against the sun shining brightly overhead, I look up at the clear blue sky.
よし。とにかく一日の始まりだ。
I take a deep breath and fill my lungs with fresh air. It erases the last of my nausea and headache. Good. I should have no trouble going to school like this. I leave the Tono mansion at a brisk pace, determined to see Ciel as soon as physically possible. Don't run too fast, though. You know, little sick boy here didn't even have any breakfast. Yeah, looks like I'll make it to class before homeroom starts. The vague hope that Ciel will be hanging out in my classroom again today floats through my mind as I hop up the stairs. And... ask and ye shall receive. The person I see climbing the stairs right before my eye is none other than Ciel herself.
Boss, Ciel senpai!
Oh, someone's a little energetic. The miracle of good timing has made me lose my senses, apparently. I make a wild attempt to charge up the stairs, slip my hands under her arms, and pick her up.
何事ですか?
And not on the stairs! Not on the stairs! Does she have eyes in the back of her head? She effortlessly evades my sneak attack. I, on the other hand, am sent crashing into a wall by momentum, unable to even touch her.
遠野くんでしたか。
Yeah, a little out of character there.
人が変わったような朝の挨拶でしたが。
Damn, maybe
何か
Kohaku really
深い
did
意
give
味
him
があっ
like
た
some
りするんで
opium
しょうか。
cocaine blend. He's riding high right now.
いえ、別に。朝から先輩の顔を見られた喜びでどうかしていただけです。
I answer her calmly, adjusting my glasses. Wait, on second thought, even I have to admit that was weird. Hey man, anything for a good gag.
ああ
You're allowed to
それ
break
は
character as long as it's
どうも
funny. In fact, breaking character is likely to make it even more funny. It's all about the timing, you know. To throw in a good gag, to lighten the mood. It's very, very important. In all situations, scenarios, at all times. There's never a bad time for it. But maybe my nonchalant attitude worked in my favor. Seems like Ciel's the one who feels sorry. Or not. No, she's just thinking about it a little more and be like, wait a minute. Now she looks really angry?
すみません。一方的に俺が悪かったです。先輩を見たらついいたずらしたくなったというか。
Yeah, reverted back to like a late elementary school boy. Just wants to pull pranks on the girl he likes.
いえいえ、朝から元気なことは結構です。このぐらいの狼藉、普段の行いに比べれば大したことはありませんし。おはようございます、遠野くん。無茶ばかりして、体と頭は大丈夫ですか?
Better is relative. It's more like the damage is still there, but just kind of plastered over for the time being. But it'll probably wear off as the day goes on. Ciel pairs her lovely greeting with an equally lovely smile. I give her a good morning back. The look on her face makes me feel a certain kind of pressure, but I ignore it. I can't take that smile for granted.
もうすぐホームルームなので失礼しますね。
Well, you're not just gonna hang out in art. You can take art classes. It's fine.
そうだ。
No one will notice. There's some empty
お昼
rooms,
休
some
み
empty
茶道室に来て
desks
く
in
だ
there
さい。
anyway.
ぜひお話ししたいことがあるので。絶対ですよ。いろいろ準備をして待ってますから。
Hooray!
準備
Mm,
だって。
it's probably like some curry-flavored tea cake she got. She spoke in such a sugary sweet tone, like her sentence was punctuated with a heart emoji. I replay what she said in my head over and over. Was it actually? Or is he just going crazy? It was. Okay. It was a little uncharacteristic for Ciel to talk that way. Maybe it was her way of getting back at me for the tackle I attempted? But it doesn't matter. I liked it. Her invitation is so enticing that I don't even think to question that there might be something behind it. Yeah, even if you know the bait's sitting on a hook, if the bait's good enough, you don't even care. I walk into my classroom to find myself in a lawless land. The bell for homeroom has rung, but nobody's at their desk. People are all over the place, chatting away wherever they please.
よーし、おはようさ。参ったね、どうも。風邪気味だよ、俺。もう帰りたい。
Me every day I walk into work.
おはようさ。安定のやる気のなさで安心したよ。ところでこれどういうこと？
No teacher!
一次元目のノエル先生が風邪で休みなんだとよ。なんで、うちの番が来るまで自習なんだと。
Damn, living the easy life.
ますます状況がわからない。うちの番ってなんだ？
だから予防接種の注射だろ。一週間前にノエル先生が。ってそうか。あの日お前早退してたっけ？
Flu shot day.
体調を崩す生徒が例年より多いんで特別に決まったんだよ。1年は昨日、2年は今日ってわけ。
At least needles are easy. Just bop bop and you're done. That must have been the day I met Arcuid. Apparently, they announced the vaccinations after classes ended. I have to get so many shots every single year for work. I literally don't even register it anymore. The only one that gave me some second thought about it was I had to get my anthrax shot this year. And oh, buddy, that one hurt like a son of a bitch. Like, most flu shots, you just feel like a little tick, and then it's done, and you're like, all right, like barely even felt it. At most, you get a little pinch, and it's like, all right, whatever, moving on. But man, they used a big honking needle for the anthrax one. Like, I'm talking not like, you know, normal hypodermic needle, not like a sewing needle. This shit was like a turkey baster. Just dunk, and I'm like, ah. Because I wasn't even looking, because I don't really have an issue with needles or blood, but I have an issue seeing like things enter my body that one aren't supposed to be there. Don't make any weird jokes about it. Or two, my own blood leaving my body. It's like, that's not supposed to happen. That's supposed to be in me. Why is it leaving me? That's not good. So whenever I get blood drawn, I just look away whenever they're doing the blood vials, and I'm fine. Hell, I can even look at it. It's just if they're fucking it up and they're just stabbing me a bunch, that's kind of when I'll maybe get a little lightheaded, because I don't like being treated as a pincushion. But yeah, I forgot where I was going with this. Anyway, I got no problem getting shots. Our turn comes during second period. We form a line outside the nurse's office and wait. Normally, we'd go in up to 5 at a time, but for some reason, they're calling us in one by one. Arihiko has already gone home, complaining that it's a pain in the ass and he doesn't like getting shots.
僕ちゃんは合格かな？
Oh god, it fucking rocks here.
注射しまちから我慢してね。
I can hear the doctor's voice coming from the nurse's office. Maybe it's because we're organized on short time, but who's ever in there doesn't sound like the elderly doctor we usually get.
僕ちゃんは健康ね。はーい。全然痛くないお注射しますから、適当に天井のシミでも数えてましょうね。
I've heard enough of this glowing voice to know who it belongs to.
はーい、次のサンプルちゃん、どうぞ。
You see, it's just a doctoring technique, you know, a nursing technique to like lower their guard and make them comfortable, so that way they are kind of ease their tension a bit. I entered the nurse's office. And sure enough, the funky doctor, who has absolutely no place being in this school, is sitting there before me.
アラク博士。
あら、坊ちゃんたらここの生徒だったの？私びっくり。もしかしてこれ運命の赤い糸ってやつかしら？いやー、困っちゃう。これで遠野家の財産独り占めじゃん。
I mean, even if you did like drug him and, you know, get a shotgun wedding, He's been disowned. You're getting nothing out of him.
でもうっかりラブダイブしちゃったらトーシちゃんに殺されちゃう。ダメダメ、それは美味しくない。
Ugh, giving me acid reflux. Would never have guessed that this was the reason she wasn't at the Tono Mansion this morning. Oh, so she really is a doctor, huh? Or just has really good fake credentials.
初めから知ってたっていうの。学校でお医者さんプレイとか私も初めてだし、背徳的っていうの。何にせよ初物は最高よね。ここならトーシ
Please
ちゃん
be
に
an
は
adult.
届かないし。
Please be professional. You're on the clock. You're working.
では出席番号13番東野四季君、観念して座
Oh,
り
that's
たまえ。
unlucky.
逃げたら内申書に罰つけるぞ。
Permanent records don't exist. I rock casual, well, kind of went like Sean Connery there. Casually threatens me as she prepares the injection. Reacting to her every jibe? Gibe? We'll go with jibe. Jibe will only egg her on. So I remain silent as I sit down and stick out my right arm. Ooh, you go the right arm? I do the left.
なんという冷静なスルー。マジかよ。しばらく見ないうちに大きくなっちゃって。やっぱり人間の成長速度って偉大よね。生き急いでるようで悲しいけど。
No, he's just being the straight man to our comedy duo here. Just,
だって、
you know,
好きちゃんは
not
どっ
even
ちがいいかしら？
a little bit too much of a straight man, not even interacting
やっぱりこっち？どっち？パンチ？
with his
ミンチ？
partner.
予防接種に種類があるんですか？
Well, you know, depending on what you're getting vaccinated for, yes.
あるわよ。私、被験者にも選択の自由はあるべきだと思う派だし。細くてあんまり痛くないけど効果が高いものと、
Okay.
太くてすっごく痛いけど効果が薄いのがあるんだけど、しきちゃんはどっちが好みかしら？
One that works? This is making me kind of nervous for some reason. It's not much of a choice, but I have to pick one. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, that's weird. So, we can make the goof here and say, give us the one that doesn't work and hurts, and then we get a dead end 2 days from now. Versus, we get the one that works, and then we hit a dead end on day 11? Oh, that's strange. Okay, so it'll be kind of annoying to skip forward again in the future, so here's what we'll do. We'll drop a save here. We will choose the one that works and advances normal, and then once we get to day 11, whenever this dead end is supposed to take place, I'll go back, choose the one that hurts, skip forward through everything, and then we'll see it then, so that way we can just resume right back into the story on the proper through line. Yeah? I think that sounds good. Just pop a save, so that way you can see, ooh, that's so many days apart from each other. Fuck, I took 5 days off? Shit. It's even worse than I thought. Oh. Yeah, it gives the effective one that doesn't hurt.
痛くなくて効果がある方をお願いします。
So boring.
しきちゃんたら遊びがない。でも仕方ないか。患者さんの決断は絶対厳守が私のプライドだし。はーい、ちょっとチクッとするけど我慢してね。
Despite the dissatisfaction on Professor Rock's face, she carries out the injection deftly.
注射慣れしてるでしょ。ほら、私博士だけどナース服も大好きですし、メスの感触もしびれちゃうけど、お注射にドクドク注入しちゃう感じとかたまらないじゃない？
I don't think that's peer-reviewed information there, Doc.
で無言で席を立つとかしきちゃんひどくない？
いや、後が使えてますから。雑談はまた次の機
Another
会に。
shot that hurts like a mother and sucks is getting your penicillin shot. That's right, you can get a penicillin shot. They stick it right in your butt, right in your cheek. And oh man, that's a big needle. And the worst part is, you need to like sit on the floor and like grind it into your muscle. Otherwise, it just balls up and it doesn't work. You need to like, they inject it into you, then you need to massage it around the muscles so that way it gets absorbed properly. So we got it during basic training. Everyone lines up, pull down your pants, get a big old honking needle right in the tush. One of the guys in front of me like screamed and then passed out. It didn't hurt that much. He just didn't like needles. So there's people like laying unconscious on the floor, like, or sitting in the recovery position, lying down. That's like when you have your head kind of rested on one of your arms. You're lying on your side, and you're like, your knees are kind of tucked up. But everyone else is just sitting on the floor on one cheek, just like grinding it in, using the floor. You essentially like sandwiching their muscle between their pelvis bone and the floor, just kind of trying to make it work. And it was a time. It certainly was. But anyway, where were we? I don't mean to be rude. He already said that. No, he didn't. It's me who says that. I don't mean to be rude, but second period will be over by the time Rock's done talking my ear off. I fix my clothes and leave the nurse's office. As I do.
私も仕事が入ってるから次の機会とかないんだけどね。ま、そのあたりはいっか。しきちゃんとは関係ないし。
Oh, this is where we say goodbye?
確かに後は疲れてるし、楽しい日々はもうおしまい。ぬるい休憩はいい加減ここまでかもね。
Well, that's not ominous. Her ominous remark stops me in my tracks. But only for a second. This has to be more of her usual crazy talk. On the other side of the curtain, Professor Rock's long hair sways like a spider web. Yeah, you don't need to. It's obvious. We don't need to, you know, a rock spider. All of her stuff is like spider motif. We get it. We get it. I get it. But what it means, no idea. After an eternity of waiting, it's finally time. I don't think the morning classes have ever gone by so slowly. It's no exaggeration to say that each second felt like 10, but in the end, my patience prevailed. I made it to lunch without even faltering, let alone fainting, so I marched to the battleground in perfect condition.
いや、まずは購買部だ。昼休みなんだから昼食を持っていかないと門前払いもあり得るぞ。
You need a bribe. It's like how you get past Cerberus on your way into Hades. You either one, play him a little ditty and he falls asleep, or two, give him a dessert because he really likes sweets, and then he'll let you through. I get my own lunch, of course, but I should also get something for Ciel too. Our relationship is probably past the point of me needing to present an offering, but I don't see any harm in going the extra mile today. I hit the brakes on my desire to go straight to the tea ceremony. Don't yawn and try to talk at the same time. It doesn't work. Ugh. Straight to the tea ceremony room and try to keep my cool as I head for the school store. I knock on the door into the tea ceremony room. Ciel would always come out to greet me here, but today seems to be different.
あ、遠野くんですね。すみません。今ちょっと手が離せなくて、遠慮せず入っちゃってください。
Heart? Ciel's dulcet tones ring out from inside the room. I have no idea what she's preparing, but her usual cheer radiates a warm light. I'm sure that the moment I slide this door open, it will spill out into the hallway and turn the walls bright white.
すみません。それじゃあ失礼しますね。
Yeah,
先輩
maybe because the paint will be peeling off them. I clear my throat and open the door. This is about to be the best lunch of my life. I enter the room without a doubt in my mind.
カチャリ
I hear a clicking sound as the door closes on its own. Oh, since when did this door have an automatic lock? Head tilted in confusion, I walk into the Japanese-style room.
いらっしゃい、
Oh.
遠野くん。どうぞそこの座布団に座ってください。お茶
Blends
も入っ
right
てま
in.
すから。
Hello, oh god, what was her name? Ciel's little familiar who lives in her pile bunker, and it's like Nana something because it's like 7 Testaments or whatever. God. Tsukihime. Was it just Nanako? Yeah, it's just Nanako. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't getting wires crossed in my head and be like, oh yeah, no, that's 7 nights, Nanaya. And that no, it just was Nanako. Because ko is means, well, I'm pretty sure it means child. But it's used to end girls' names. So, 7 Testaments, 7 girl, cute name, 7 Nanako. 7 girl, 7 child. Little hoof hands. Ciel gives me a warm welcome. Neatly laid out in the room are 2 cups of green tea, a pair of cushions, and a massive torture device I vaguely recognize.
先輩、それは。
ああ、どうぞ気にせずに。安心してください。それは善良な人には反応しませんから。悪い人にしか聞かないんですよ。
Yeah, then why are you able to use it?
例えば、約束を守らない嘘つきとか。
Her perfect smile makes those words truly intimidating. This is no reward. It's a carefully staged ambush.
それは結構ですけど、なんだってそんな物騒なものをわざわざここに。
いえ、ちょっと手入れをしていただけですよ。対はないのです。
I
私
really like
的
the
に
finish.
今のところは。
It's like the finish on my M1. It's oh god, what kind of wood? Yeah, I paid the extra like $150 to get a nice new wood stock on mine versus the, original stock from 1943. But it's that nice reddish. It's not chestnut. I forget what it is. And it's not mahogany. It's definitely not mahogany. Anyway, moving on. I'll have to look that up later. That sure sounds like she has something else on her mind. Something else in mind. She looks at me with a wide grin on her face. Oh, this is bad. Worse than Vlov. If I don't get out of here now, my life will be in danger.
まずは座りましょう、遠野くん。あ、もちろん正座で。
Oh, not Seiza. That hurts my ankles.
お茶の間ですからね。
Ciel thwarts my escape with a perfectly timed move.
ですよね。座ります。
Slowly, I lower myself onto the cushion, tucking my knees under me. I miss the old Ciel who would cheerfully tell me to make myself comfortable. I cower before her, daring to say nothing. Anyone would, faced with the 1-2 combo of that smile and that weapon.
ところでこれのことですが。
Yeah, it's awesome. Ciel reaches for the weapon ever so naturally, like this is part of the tea ceremony. Not so much as a grunt, she lifts it up. That hunk of metal looks like it's several times heavier than me. Well, you weigh like 70 pounds, so that's not really saying much.
本当は秘密なんですけど、遠野くんには一度見せていますから隠すこともありませんよね。
Yeah, and if we're gonna be, partners, it's we gotta know each other's kits. Just a
こ
little
れは大
familiarization
昔に
so that
作
way
ら
we
れ
can
た特
plan
別な道具
tactics.
を対吸血鬼用にリスト化したものです。遠野くんには何に見えますか？
Like I said, pile bunker. My first thought is that it looks like a nightmare for the person on the wrong end of its barrel. But I bite my tongue and say that it looks like a big gun. Adding that it looks really cool, of course.
その通りです。これは私が持つ武器の中でも大きなもので、ここから杭を打ち出して嘘つき、いえ、吸血鬼にお仕置きをする道具ですね。油圧式でしたが、それでは特殊環境下で故障する危険性が高いので、メイン動力は魔力による外部圧力に作り直しています。今まで3体もの大物を仕留めた
Cool.
私の自慢の一品なんですよ。
Really gassing it up. Was that a Freudian slip? Something she said freezes my spine and shatters it to pieces. It looks like my off-the-cuff compliment saved my skin. Ciel's mood improved slightly after I praised her gun. I guess I should keep going with the flow.
それはすごい。私のってことは先輩の手製なんでしょうか、このでっかいの。
もちろんですとも。もともとはある用途のために作られた装置だったのですが、それは祭壇のようなもので持ち運べないサイズでした。なのでそれらを部分部分に解体したものの一つがこの杭打ち機、断罪師の武装です。
Oh, okay.
わかりますか？断罪師、要は罪人、例えば嘘つきとかを懲らしめる審判裁きの一撃ですね。このセブンの弾丸を受けて立ち上がれ
This
る
is
と
you being a broad
Yeah.
second person, not
使徒はい
specific,
ないでしょう。
pronoun in this case. Ciel gloats like a proud parent. A stake driver this powerful could probably take down anything, even a vampire. They forgot to put a space in there. The problem is whether or not its next stake has my name on it.
他にもいくつか種類がありますが、それらは今の遠野くんには関係がないので紹介はできません。誠に
そうですか、それはよかった。参考までに聞きますが、その銃、杭打ち機の他にはどんな無理
Yeah,
な
I
難
can
題
eat
があるんで
pounds
しょ
of
う。
carrots at a time.
そうですね。火炙り、引き潰し、切り刻み、毒まぶし、
Oh yeah, that's
炒め
right.
つ
That's
け
right.
といったとこ
You
ろで
went
しょう
over all
か。
those things when you're fighting Vlov.
おや、不思議なことにこれらは吸血鬼に協力した罪人にも適用される刑罰でした。
Really? Poison?
それ
Say
が
so.
何か？
I am so screwed. She's far beyond the point of suspicion. She knows full well that I went out with Arcuate last night. She can smell her on you.
ところでお茶をどうぞ。喉の渇きは会話の渇きですよ。きちんとしたお話をしてくれると思ったので、特別に渋いお茶を入れましたから。
It just means it's got more antioxidants and it's good for you that way. Alright, time to apologize with everything I've got. I have no choice but now to believe in the power of confession.
先輩、ですね。
Are you actually sanctioned though to give confessions? Or take them? However
Hi.
what the proper
何でしょう
verb
か、
is
遠野くん。
for the person on the other side of the screen for what they're doing?
昨夜の話なんですけど。
ほう、昨夜のお話ですか。それは興味深い。成長しますので遠慮なくどうぞ。懺悔だと思って。
Well, since we don't have a screen, let's sit like back to back or something.
すみません。俺は先輩との約束を破ってアルクエイドと吸血鬼を探しに行きました。あいつとは 2日前からそういう約束だったんです。
Yeah, we couldn't help it. We don't want to be a liar, you know?
そうですか。成果はありましたか？
No.
ありませんでした。吸血鬼は慎重になってるみたいで、しばらくは膠着状態だろうって。
Yeah, all we did was have a cute, fun date.
でしょうね。それに関しては私も同意見です。私と神祖がいる以上、下手に動くことはないでしょう。まあ、
I mean, if they were really smart, they would just
それはいい
skip
として。
town. You know, catch the night bus and just go somewhere else.
それで、あなたの感想は？吸血鬼と協力して得るものはありましたか？
感想ですか？
Common sense isn't very good with her. She can get carried away. She's really excitable. And she can get scary sometimes. Well, that's unexpected. I thought Ciel would be lecturing me for breaking my promise.
そうです。やっぱり怖かったとか、もう二度と関わりたくないとか、そういった感想です。
Ah, the exact opposite.
だって遠野くんは言ったじゃないですか。武器があっても戦うのは怖いって。だからこれで懲りたりはしないんですか？
Well, you see, last night we didn't have to fight, so it was literally just hanging out with a cute girl for a couple of hours.
それはありま
Which
せん。
is terrifying in its own right,
先輩の
but
力になりたい
in
の
an
は
entirely
当然だ
different
し、
way than the one you're talking
吸
about.
血鬼のことを見なかったことにもできない。でもごめんなさい。先輩との約束を破ったことは反省しています。あの時点でアルクエイドと2人で吸血鬼探しをしていることを先輩に告白すればよかったんです。
Less of a direct lie and more lie of admission. I bow my head deeply. Omission, not admission. What am I talking about? I tried to keep my word to Arcuid. In trying to keep my word to Arcuid, I stepped all over the leniency Ciel gave me. No, that's not it. I didn't want Ciel to hate me, so I kept quiet about my plans with Arcuid. And I did that knowing I would be dishonest.
告白ですか？
Well,
そ
yeah,
れ
we're
は
doing
そう
a
ですね。
confessional right now, right?
遠野くんははっきり私に秘密を打ち明けるべきでした。ですが、私が反省してほしいのはそこではありません。遠野くんはもっと自分の体を大事にしてください。あなたは普通の男の子なんです。
regular
私のよう
boy
な掃除屋とは違う。
asterisk with like 2 paragraphs of small text underneath it.
だから、遠野くんの身に万が一のことがあったら、私は自分が許せません。
Yeah, because civilian casualties involve a lot of paperwork. I can't believe it took me this long to realize how stupid I've been. I was riding high after the defeat of Vlav. With the big threat gone, my thoughts were filled with Ciel and Arcuid, and I stopped taking vampires seriously. She's not angry at me for breaking my promise. She's trying from the bottom of her heart to get it through my head just how much I'm putting myself in danger.
シエル先輩、
I've got nothing. Feelings of remorse and gratitude are all tangled up inside me that I can't even think straight. All I can do is look into Ciel's face.
いろいろと言いたいことはありますが、そんな顔をされたら何も言えません。
Mm-hmm. You know you've done
考
wrong.
えてみれば、
Let you off with
一
a
人
slap
で
on the
吸
wrist.
血鬼を
Don't
探
do
し
it
てはい
again.
け
Yada,
な
yada,
い
yada.
なんて言った私にも落ち度はあったんですね。確かにあなたは一人ではありませんでしたし、
Mm-hmm.
一緒にいた相手があまりにも問題でしたが。
いや、あれはトンチというか、
Yeah, we thought we were
言い
being
訳
real
というか
sneaky with that
です
one.
ね。
Like maybe you'd almost be impressed if you found out.
いいです。私も反省、かつ学習しました。
Even though in reality that just leads you to getting hit harder.
遠野くんがあれぐらいでおとなしくしている人じゃないって、よーく覚えておきます。
Ciel's words are sharp, but I can make out a playful tone in her a playful note in her tone. Oh, well, that's a relief. The issue hasn't been properly resolved yet, but it seems like she's forgiven me just a little.
でもあいつがいたって知ってるってことは、先輩はどこから見てたんですか？やっぱり俺たちと同じように街を探し回っていた時、
Nah, she's just a
隠れて
stalker.
見ていたとか。
さあ、何のことか全くわかりません。私、昨夜はこの町を離れていたので何とも。ノエル
Lies,
先生
lies,
が
sweet little lies.
たまたま見かけたとかで。
ノエル先生が。今日は休んでますけど、昨夜は元気だったんですか？
You know, she stayed out working too late last night, and she had to take today off to recuperate.
はい。
Oh, it looks like Ciel doesn't know about Miss Noel's absence. After a few seconds' thought, Ciel bluntly changes the subject. Come on, Ciel,
ノエ
you're
ル
the one to
先
think
生の
quick
サ
on
ボ
your
り
feet.
癖
I
は
came up with
後
that
で追
on
求
the
する
spot.
として。
I will say, I'm not very smart, I'm not very intelligent, but the one thing I have going for me is my brain moves quickly. So I'm really good at coming up with little white lies like that in order to save my own skin if things are getting a little prickly and I need to divert that heat somewhere else.
今はあなたのことです、当の指揮官。私にも落ち度があったので約束を破ったことは水に流しますが、問題はより大きくなったことを理解していますか？
I mean, no, not really.
問題って何ですか？
アルクエイドのことです。
Oh yeah, that she's kind of going crazy.
あなたは彼女のあり方を誤認しています。彼女が血を吸わないから人間の味方だ
He's getting too
なんて
attached
考
to
えて
her.
いませんか？
I don't know how to answer that. It's not because the question took me by surprise, but because it's the very question I've been trying not to think about.
そこまで単純に考えてはいないけど。
Yeah, it's like if your friend just like bought a tiger and is having it live in his apartment. It's like, yeah, it's fine for now, but you know, it's still a wild animal, and you know, if it flies off the handle, that's it. That's game over, dude.
でも、あいつはこの町に救っていた吸血鬼の敵だ。俺たちと目的は同じなんだから、協力したって。
やはり根本から間違えているようですね。
Yeah, you know, hard times make for strange bedfellows or whatever the saying is.
いいでしょう。部外者である遠野くんに説明することは避けていましたが、今回は特例です。
Ooh, plot details.
あなたがこの先も吸血鬼に関わるというのなら、彼女と彼女の敵、ロアについてお話しします。
The mood has shifted. Has Ciel given up on trying to stop me from getting involved? Now she looks at me with absolute seriousness. I have no objections. Getting a rundown on Argued and Roa is exactly what I was hoping for.
世界に数多くいる吸血種の中でも霊長類、ホモ・サピエンスの血液を糧とする異物を、私たち聖堂教会は吸血鬼と呼称しています。
I was about to say are mosquitoes vampires, but they don't prey specifically on us, so I guess they get a pass.
吸血鬼は大きく、
Maybe
神
Gaia
祖と
created
使徒とに
mosquitoes
分類
because
され、
she also fucking hates us.
アルクエド・ブリュンスタットは神祖であり、
Hmm?
この町に救っているローは使徒となります。上級の使徒たちは皆特殊な異能を持っていますが、ロアはその中でも異端扱いされている特例でした。
Really? Yeah, I suppose his power is like really
あのブローブみたいなやつなんですか？
unorthodox, let's say.
ソとかいう吸血鬼の頂点みたいな。
そうですね。行ってきた最悪量で認定するのなら、
Ooh, rank
ロアは使徒
9.
海底における9位、27祖に匹敵します。事実、教会は彼を28人目の祖として捉えています。 他の人たちは彼を同意と
He's
認
got
め
a
ては
little
いませんが、
asterisk next to his rank. An ancestor, a king among vampires. The law of coming here was a calamity in itself, so to think that someone like that has been in this town for decades is unsettling. But I wonder.
ロアってやつはそんなに強いんですか？
I mean,
グローブと同じくらいなら俺たちとっくに死んでいると思うんですけど。
it depends when you encounter him. It you know, determines his strength level. If you get him early on, he's just like a mook. But if you give him time to kind of germinate and come out of his like cocoon, then he's an issue.
ロア本人はそこまで強力な個体ではありません。
But he literally has time on his side,
ですね。
so
対処するという意味で言えば、グローブよりはるかに厄介な相手なんです。何しろ死んでも生き返ってしまうんですから。
先輩、吸血鬼は不死身なんだから死んでも生き返ってくるのは当たり前なんじゃないかな。
well, no.
不老不死と蘇生はまた別の話ですよ。
Yeah, if you're immortal, you don't die to begin with. To resurrect, you need to die first.
確かに吸血鬼は致死の傷を負っても血液がある限り復元しますが、血液が底をついた状態であれば消滅します。消滅した後も霊族使徒たちが主の肉体を修復し、力ある血液を注ぎ込めば復元はするでしょうが、完全に消滅した後、一人でに蘇生する吸血鬼はいない。
Cool.
けれどロアはそれすら克
Didn't know
服
that.
してしまった吸血鬼なんです。
That, you know, if the minion dead apostles just like sculpt the hamburger meat back into the shape of the person, I guess, and just give it blood, that you know, the ancestor will kind of be able to just kind of go and come back. Interesting.
遠野くんは輪廻転生という言葉をご存知ですか？仏教用語ですから日本の方には馴染みはあると思うんですけど。
Yeah, even I mentioned it last time. You know, something samsara. Yeah. Reincarnation. That's what Arcu had said Ro's ability was.
はい、ありますけど。死んでも次の人間として生まれ変わるっていうやつでしょ。
Yeah, your karma and your dharma.
ロア
Yada
の
yada
特
so
性
and
は
so.
まさにそれです。彼は輪廻転生を魔術として成功させた。死んでも生き返る、殺しても殺せないとはそういう意味なんです。
Killing him isn't even permanent. So even if you kill the vampire in front of you, they'll just be reborn into the next generation of humans. That's more than just eternal life. That's an immortal existence. Don't know how far his reincarnation can go, but to truly eliminate Roa, sounds like you need to end all human life. Well, yeah, that's
もっとも
the thing.
転生には制限があります。
That's why he likes it.
基本ロアは存命している間に次の自分をあらかじめ決めておきます。これと定めた血筋の胎児にこれまでの自分の全情報を移植するんです。ロアの情報はその胎児が成人ないし自己としての知性を持つまで影を潜めています。そして転生体が自分を引き継ぐにふさわしい知性を持った段階でロアという吸血鬼になってしまうんです。
ちょっと待って先輩。移植ってつまり赤ん坊が母親のお腹の中にいる時に
No,
手
it's
術
like
みたいな
magic.
ことをするんですか？
He's like connecting his Bluetooth to the baby and like airdropping his information into the baby's like save file that has a restriction on it that will only become active once, you know, the main current vessel of Roa dies. Then, you know, the flag will trip and then it'll activate in that one.
基本的にはそうです。移植は転生先の肉体が胎児の時に行われます。それは医学的な工程ではなく自然のサイクルに近い工程です。先ほど全情報と言いましたが、要は魂という名の電波と思ってください。
Oh god.
電波を
I
発
was
信す
actually
るの
right.
も
It
受
is
信するのも
fucking
人
magic
間の脳
Bluetooth. Let's also not equate the soul to electromagnetic waves.
ロアはその肉体が死滅した際、魂を拡散させて次の肉体に転移します。転生先が決まっていればその肉体に、
Oh
決まってい
god,
なけれ
it's
ば
like AM
一定条件を
modulation.
満たした胎児にラン
His
ダム
soul bounces off like the ionosphere on the earth until it like receives, you know, hits the pre-placed receiver that is the baby, and then it just kind of like forms the connection and just like re-uploads the data. Ugh.
ロアの優れたところは、魂なんていう計測不能の形而上のものを定義し、伝達可能なものとして加工したことでしょう。
As unexpected and hard to believe as it is, it does make sense. The vampire Roa is reincarnated into some baby when his current body dies, where he remains dormant until the baby reaches adulthood.
先輩の話を鵜呑みにすると、そいつは本当に死なないじゃないか。不死身じゃないけど、それ以上にタチが悪い。殺しても違う人間として生まれてくるなら、そいつは人間がいる限り
Yes.
永遠だ。
ええ、その通りですね。ロアが使徒になったのは今から
Just
800
playing
年
an
ほど
eternal
前。
game of whack-a-mole.
それから現代まで転生した回数は16回。そのことごとくをアルクエイド・ブリュンスタットは殺害しています。
アルクエイドが
We're gonna learn about Crimson Moon and all that, you know, Arkwood Brunstad of the
Hi.
Crimson Moon,
彼女にとってロア
and then go
は
into the lore
特別な
there.
吸血鬼ですから。
Gonna name drop Big
私
Z.
にとってもロアは特別な吸血鬼なんですけど、神祖は使徒に関心を持たないものですが、アルクエイドは神祖の中で唯一吸血鬼を殺す神祖でした。
Mm-hmm.
彼女は今まで多くの吸血鬼を殺してきましたが、その中でも特に就寝していたのがロアです。
Well, yeah, because he's the one that keeps getting away. Her programming won't let her. I've known that Arkwood is a vampire who kills other vampires. After all, she did fight Vlav. And she seems to be going after Roa too, though it feels like things are a little more complicated.
そうだ。ブローブとロアは違う。ロアってやつは死んでもまた生まれてくるんですよね。なら何回殺しても意味がない。あいつそれを知ってて今回も追ってきたんでしょ。
Well, she kind of feels a little responsible.
ええ、彼女にはそれしか手段がありませんから。
Just constantly trying to put out the fire she started.
そしてロアは吸血鬼として覚醒し、行動を起こした時点で彼女に殺され、その度に転生し、また彼女に殺される。そんな繰り返しをもうずっとしてきたんです。
Ciel hangs her head slightly, biting her lip as if in regret. A vampire with the power of reincarnation. Vlav threatened to destroy human society by pure destruction, but Roa terrorizes it using infiltration tactics. If Vlav was a calamity clashing against civilization, Roa is a disease lurking in the shadows of society.
厄介ですね。
Oh yeah.
先輩、そのロアって人はどんなやつだったんですか？
Well, it changes every time.
おや、ロアの説明はこれで終わりにするつもりでしたが、彼…
いや、なんとなく。そんな回りくどい不老不死を実現した吸血鬼はどんなやつだったのかなって。
Because, you know, the individual self still dies, but it's like the big concept of you moves on, but it's not you anymore. So it's a strangely selfless form of immortality that most people wouldn't choose because it defeats the whole point of why most people try to achieve immortality.
そうでしたか。
So they,
Dewa,
them,
もう少しだけ。
as they are right now can live forever, not some nebulous, you know, reincarnated version that can be different.
始まりのロアは男性ですが、その性別は転生先の肉体によって変化します。
Good for him. It's 2024.
この人の厄介なところは、その発見が極めて困難という点ですね。何しろ人の子として生まれてきてきちんとした両親がいるんです。ロアが吸血鬼として肉体と意識を変貌させるのは、肉体が満足に活動できる年からになります。ですのでロアの転生体は成長するまで吸血鬼としての片鱗を全く見せません。
Yeah, those genes are still
そのくせ
recessed,
一
even
度
though
ロア
that's
と
not
して
really
目
how
覚め
genes
たら、
work, but you know what I mean.
今まで培った人間関係を利用して完全に社会に溶け込むんです。教会がロアに気づいた時にはもう手遅れのケースがほとんどでした。
Mm-hmm.
ロアが育った町は死の都と化し、その絶頂期にアルクエイドによって終わらされています。
Now Roa's roundabout method makes sense. Being raised as a human allows him to freely amass power and partake in blood while remaining virtually undetected. But I still have one lingering question. Once the host matures and awakens as Roa, what happens to the human it was before? Will their original identity be forgotten? No more than a placeholder persona marked for deletion from birth?
忘れ去られるということはありません。
It just kind of goes into like suspended animation in the back of the mind.
だってその代のロアの人格と記憶は、それまで生まれ育った転生先の人間そのものなんですから。例えば A という人物がロアの転生先だとしましょう。A が成人に達して吸血鬼になった時、覚醒したロアの魂が A になるのではないんです。
Mm-hmm. More like synthesis or something.
A という人物がロアという魂に汚染されるだけなんですよ。ある日突然、何の前触れもなく趣味や思考が変わるのだと思ってください。
二重人格のようなものじゃないんですね。
No, it's not like an on-off switch. It's like blended together. But
元から
okay.
の肉体が
If
持っ
that's
て
how you
いた
want to say
魂
it,
にロアの魂がプリントされる。転生体とロアは
There we go.
一心
Intertwined.
同体なんです。転生先がどのような善人であれ、ロアが覚醒すればそれは吸血鬼という悪になる。死とはその生存手段そのものが人間にとって悪ですから。その折転生先の人格も肉体も変貌します。ロアという膨大な情報と価値観に切り替わるんです。
肉体も吸血鬼になるんですか？
Well, yeah, they turn into gay European.
そのちゃんと人間として生まれたのに。
転生するのは人格ではなく
Yeah,
魂で
the
すから。
meat puppet like rearranges itself to match the hand inside of it that is the soul.
汚染されたロアの魂は覚醒した段階で転生先の肉体を徐々に吸血鬼化させる。何代も蓄え続けた情報を生かすにふさわしい怪物の肉体に。ですが
Oh boy, however's.
ですが、
それだけでは万全とは言えません。転生は完成された不老不死のシステムですが、立ち上がりに不安材料が多すぎる。それを補うため、ロアは転生先の条件を絞ります。まず、生まれてくる家が富豪であること。社会的地位も高く、財産も豊かな家の子供として生まれれば、
Schmooze and rub elbows with the
街すべてを
influential people,
吸血
you
鬼
know,
化さ
turn
せるの
them
に
and
便
then
利で
have
すか
them
ら。
do the dirty work. You know, it's easier to go top down than bottom up.
それともう一つが、転生先の肉体が強靭であること。こちらは絶対条件ではなく、都合が合えばというレベルですね。人間の中にも特別な力を持って生まれてくる子供はいます。魔術と呼ばれる
Like
学べば
nifty,
習得できる神秘ではな
nifty
く、
little things.
生まれつき肉体が持ってしまう得意能力。一般に超能力者や鬼ごとされる人種のことです。
Paranormals, yeah, that's what they're called in the remake now.
得意能力というのは遺伝するケースが多いで
I
すか
think they
ら
went with like psychics or
ロアは
something in the
自分の
original, but
新しい
I
肉
think
体に
paranormal is better
そういっ
because
た
it's
人
just
間ではないも
broader.
のの家系を選ぶこと
Because
もあったと思
Nosfer's
います
concepts have expanded so much at this point. Just calling them psychics is it's too narrow of a label to slap on everything. Ciel explains all of this dispassionately. A family with wealth and renown, one that spawns people with special abilities. What is this feeling? I don't like listening to this. Not because it has nothing to do with me or because I don't care. But thinking about Roa's conditions and all that makes me feel unbearably sick.
ロアの話はここまででいいでしょう。言うまでもなくロアは私の敵であり、この町に住む人々にとっての脅威です。そして脅威というのなら、それはロアだけではありません。
We gonna talk about Arcuid now?
アルクエド・ブリュンスタット。
Mm-hmm.
彼女こそロアを上回る災害にした元凶。この町を吸血鬼の住処にまで貶めたのは、他ならぬあの化け物です。
Well, if we move back far enough, you're not entirely wrong, because she kind of kicked this whole thing off.
No.
But I'm gonna assume other vampires are drawn to her. Like stand users or something. My mood suddenly changes. I mean, my mood changes instantly. Or it's hit me like flint against steel. Did Ciel just say that Arcuid is the source of all this? And she called her a monster?
何言ってるんだ先輩。あいつは俺を助けてくれて町のために戦ってくれたんだぞ。元凶だなんてそんなこと。
だからそれが間違っているんです。彼女はこの町の安全なんて、ましてや人間の命なんて考えてすらいない。彼女は個人的な理由でロアを追っているに過ぎませんから。
Yeah, or could go, ugh. It's a scorched earth for all she cares.
遠野くん、使徒だって元は人間なんです。
Uncalibrated this time around because someone smacked her around a bit, got the gears loose in her head.
彼らが吸血鬼になる方法は2つあります。魔導を極めて自らの肉体を永久期間に変革させるか、神祖という初めから吸血種として生まれたものに血を吸われるか。
Yep.
ロアは後者、神祖に血を吸われて使徒になりました。ロアという吸血鬼ですら神祖という超越種の犠牲者に過ぎない。
Everyone's victim of something if you get granular enough. Unfazed by my outburst, Ciel looks straight at me. Her motionless eyes tell me what she's about to say.
アルクエイドがロアの血を吸ったって言いたいんですか。
I mean, she didn't mean for this to happen.
憶測ではなく事実です。彼女は800年前に一度だけ過ちを犯した。神祖の王族でありながら人間の司祭だったロアの還元に乗り、杯に汲まれたロアの血を飲んでしまった。
Oh, it can work like that too? It doesn't even have to be from his body? It can just be their blood and that's enough to turn him? Like, did he drink from it afterwards and get, like, vampire mono? Or is it just the conceptual aspect of it of Arcuid drank his blood, therefore he is now a dead apostle?
神祖は私たちとは大きくか
Doesn't
け
even
離れ
matter
た
if
存
it's,
在です。
directly from the tap, so to say.
使徒は確かに絶大な能力を持っていますが、それらは所詮人間の延長でしかありません。長い寿命を得たからこそ自己の能力を向上させ、結果としてあのような超能力を持つに至りました。極論ですが、ただの人間であっても長い寿命さえあれば、誰だって吸血鬼程度の能力は習得できる。
Yep, with infinite time, anything's possible. Well, that sounds familiar. Did I read that somewhere recently? It said that all of their claims of never aging or becoming immortal, vampires were nothing special.
ですが真相は違います。 彼らは現れた時から人知の及ばない力を保有している。神祖とは精霊そのもの、地上で起きるあらゆる自然現象の化身、この星の分身と言ってもいい。私たち人間は自然との共存から独立、自立することで繁栄してきました。
Oh god, we're getting into like Final Fantasy 7
星の恩
stuff.
恵を受けながらも資源を略奪し、星が滅びようと私たちは滅びない未来を手に入れた。
The planet's dying, Shiki.
人間だけがこの現在に行き着いた。人間が地球上で最も優れた種として確立したのはこの一点があったからです。
Hooray!
けれど星にしてみればそれは悪です。
Oh no!
世界であれ一つの生命、一つの概念です。ですから自身を人間から守ろうという意志が働きます。
The vampires are one thing, Ciel. That's an easy enough concept for someone to understand, but now we're going into full the planet is alive, Gaia is conscious kind of thing. That's a little much for the normal, you know, bystander to take in all at once. Oh, that's crazy talk. There's no way that nature has a will of its own. It doesn't defend itself, let alone harbor emotions like hatreds towards the pest defiling its body. No way. Ew. Is that a bloody ocean? Ick. It does. It absolutely does. But the phase of its life, the scale of its existence, so different from yours that you cannot perceive it. Look at this reality. See for yourself the emotions of nature. Gaze upon the colors of your diminutive scenes cannot endure. Senses cannot endure. You do not yet know the anger and pain of its flowing life. The momentary terror passes. I find relief in the fact that our shared values are aligned with human sensibilities. Does the planet harbor resentment towards the life forms living on its surface? It is unthinkable. Perhaps we simply cannot sense it. But no, that is not all. Nature, or the world, has a will of its own. It is this that protects us and allows us to live. It is not that we cannot sense its resentment. It is that nature has endorsed the ideal that humanity is beautiful.
惑星、自然現象が自らの触覚として独立させた存在。それが一般に妖精、精霊と呼ばれる者たちです。神祖というのはその一種族なんです。元から人間を諌める役割として生まれた彼らは人間を悪としか思っていない。
Yeah, but they could have done a little bit better. You know, it was a bit of a collab project. Don't and you know, there's a couple of flaws.
私たちが人間を捕食する吸血鬼を悪と思うように、神祖にとって自然を食い物にする人間は悪なんです。
If that were the truth, it would only be too funny. Why have they been designed so that they cannot exist without feeding on such wickedness as humans?
わかりますか？
Because it was funny.
神祖にとって人間は敵に過ぎません。もともと自然の一
Yeah,
部。
they designed it wrong as a joke.
この星そのものとリンクしている彼らの能力は、それこそ再現というものがないんです。教会の歴史の中でも、神祖と戦った記録は数えるほどしかありません。彼らは世界そのものから力を引き上げる。彼らを倒すということは、世界を倒すほどの概念武装が必要になります。
There's a couple of those kicking around.
もちろん、そんな武装はありません。
Probably not anymore. Probably not after the Age of Gods ended and, you know, the Age of Man started.
ですから彼らには、外的要因による死を与える
But
こと
there
が
may
で
be
き
one or
ない。
two of them lying buried somewhere. Just gotta dig them up.
さらにはこんな碑文も残されています。神祖を撃つのであれば、万全のまま撃ってはならない。
Well, duh. You never want to fight anything at full strength.
死に瀕した神祖のみ葬るべしと。奇襲ぐらいでしか殺せない怪物だというのに、不意打ちを禁じているとかわけがわかりません。
That night, she told me something in the hotel room. If Shiki Tono had met her at night rather than during the day, not even those eyes would have been able to see her death. In other words, no matter what, she will never die. She's the polar opposite of the man that sought to escape death through reincarnation.
いいですか、遠野くん。アルクエド・ブリュンスタッドがロアを追っているのは、ロアに与えてしまった自分の力を取り戻すためなんです。それは決して人間のためではありません。なぜ彼女が弱っているのかは分かりませんが、もし力が戻れば、遠野くんの手を借りる必要なんてなくなります。
Well, yeah.
その時、彼女が遠野くんを無事に返すと思いますか？
Because then her, like, true ancestor persona comes on, and that one's not as nice. Oh, Ciel is dead serious. She's seriously worried for my life. She seriously loathes the blood-sucking monster she thinks Arcuate is. But I'm sorry, Ciel. Just can't abide that. Because just like you, she accepted me with a smile. Let this monster stand by her side. No, she's just a little cinnamon bun.
返すに決まってるだろ。
She's like a pit bull wearing cute pajamas.
だってあいつが俺をどうにかするなんてそんな理由ないんだから。
Even if she doesn't have reason, doesn't mean she might not do it on accident. You know, we're talking
彼女は吸
levels
血
of
鬼です。
scale here that
それも使徒のように、自身が生き延びるために血を必要とする吸血種ではありません。いいですか、遠野くん。神祖たちが人間から血を吸わなければ、そもそも使徒なんていう吸血鬼は生まれなかった。彼らは人間の血なんか吸わなくても生きていけるくせに、ただ吸いたいという吸血衝動だけで人間の血を吸って、人間を人間以外の怪物にしてしまうんです。そんなもののそばに一般人であるあなたを歩かせるわけにはいきません。
yeah, the fact that it's in the cards as a thing that can happen is just, you know, goes against her operating procedures. Ciel's lecture ends there. Maybe it's the headache that's been gnawing at me this whole time, but the person in front of me feels like a total stranger.
長くなりましたが、私からの話は以上です。これで彼女がどれほど危険な存在なのか、理解してもらえましたか？
はい。額面通りにはなんとか。
Yeah, like we get where you're coming from, but have you considered the fact that she's really cute?
よかった。
I mean, you're
じゃあ、
cute too, but
もう彼女には近づかないでくださいね。
just kind of
協
evens
力
it
なんて
out,
も
you
って
know?
のほかですから。
That's the thing, Ciel. We were always crazy. I can't agree with what Ciel is saying. I mean, she doesn't even know Arcuate. She has no idea what a good person Arcuate is.
遠野くん？
No, you see, it's like how you know your grandparents, and they're the sweet, loving, doting grandparents. It's kind of how it is with me and like the grandparents on my mother's side. However, my older cousins that are like 10 to 15 years older than me, they know my grandmother as like a goddamn iron woman with a tyrant's fist who would just whoo. She was a different woman back then, so you know, still the same person, but perspectives on it are a little different. You know, she took us, you know, me and my siblings to like the Ben and Jerry's ice cream factory, out to look at the elk farm, you know, go do fun things, you know, go downtown, and she made them go clean weeds out of the pond, go cut down trees and stack firewood, if they didn't turn the stove on when she asked, she'd smack them upside the head, like damn near give them a concussion, just like wallop them into the other room. It's like we're looking at the exact same thing. It's okay. It's that comic or thought experiment of two people like facing each other, and in between them there's the number 9 or 6 on the ground, and each of them's pointing at it, and one of them saying it's 6 and the other one's saying it's 9. And what they're looking at is exactly the same, but the perspective on it is entirely different, and there's just that miscompare going on.
嫌です。あいつとの
Like
約
we're
束は
talking about the
破れな
same
い。
thing, but we're kind of talking past each other here.
だってアルクエイドはいいやつだし、俺を殺そうとするとかそんなこと絶対に。
Well, she's threatened to do it, but
ですから、その彼女自身が危険なんです。いい加減目を覚ましてください。彼女は人間じゃない。いつ気まぐれから人間の血を吸うかわからない使徒以上の化け物なんですよ。
I know she's coming from a place of sincere concern. But even so, I can't let her insult Arcuid like that.
やめてくれ先輩。あいつと話してもいないくせにそんなこと言わないでくれ。
それは確かにそうですけど、だけど彼女は吸血鬼なんです。それだけはちゃんと理解してください。
Is that you talking, Ciel, or is that your preconceived biases and prejudices, taking the wheel there?
だからそれは違うんだって。いいか先輩、ア
I
ルクエイ
suppose
ド
how you
は
look
血を
at it,
吸わ
you
ないんだ。
yourself are nothing but
あいつは自分でそう言ったし、
your biases
それに嘘があったとは
and,
俺には思えない。他の真相がどう
and
かは知
something
らない
else
け
that
ど
I can't remember.
アルクエイドは別だ。あいつだけはきっと。
きっと何だって言うんです。たとえ彼女が危険ではないとしても、遠野くんが戦うこと自体が危険じゃないですか。あなたは彼女とは違う、傷つけば死んでしまう普通の人間です。私が許せないのは、それが分かっていながら遠野くんを戦わせていることです。アルクエイドはあなたが死んでもいいと思っている。
I mean,
そんなの遠野くんを道具としか見ていないってことじゃないですか。
she might get him killed on accident, but she'd still be sad about it. Just like a child like breaking one of their toys and then crying afterwards. Ciel's not yelling at me, but at Arcuid, even though she isn't anywhere near here. My whole head is aflame. I fully understand what she's saying is correct. I know that logically, I'm the one in the wrong. But that's exactly why I can't stand the sound of her voice right now.
うるさい。
遠野くん、
先輩はうるさい。アルクエイドは俺を道具扱いなんかしていない。知らないのに。アルクエイドのことを知らないくせに勝手なことは言わないでください。あいつが守ってくれなかったら俺たちはとっくに死んでたんですよ。少しは感謝するのが筋ってもんでしょ。
Yeah, God, can't you two just talk? Before I realize it, I'm on my feet shouting at Ciel.
感謝？それこそありえません。あんな化け物に感謝してどうするんですか。そもそも元凶は彼女です。あれぐらい当然の義務でしょ。ああ、そう
We're
い
not
う
going
こ
to
と
get
です
anywhere
か。
constructive with here.
なるほど、納得しました。どうしてアルクエイドが町を守ったのか。あれはあなたを騙すための布石だったんですね。
Yes,
ああやって
truly,
人間らしい
Arcuid.
ふりをす
That
れば、
Arcuid
遠野くん
is
がコロ
truly
ッと
capable
騙
of
されるか
playing
ら。
5D mental chess. You're being ridiculous, Ciel. Next, you're gonna tell me that she's the one controlling the interest rates at the bank. I don't care I don't care if she was just being spiteful or if she really meant what she said. Either way, she thinks that Arcuid is just another vampire to be killed, and that I'm an idiot for having faith in her.
俺は騙されてなんかない。だいたいあいつが嘘なんかつけるもんか。 先輩みたいに器用じゃないんだから。俺はあいつを信じます。っていうか、あれが嘘でも喜んで騙されてやる。
Ooh, he's kind of got you there, though. Arcuit may have, a slight lie of omission, with the whole Roa thing. Not mentioning that and the whole never sucking blood thing. If she's talked about that in this route yet, but he's kind of got you there, with your whole lying to worm your way in to get close to him thing. It's not a good look, Ciel.
ですね、自分が何を言っているのか理解していますか？社会を守る私たちより自由気ままに動いては街を混乱に陥れるあの旗迷惑な真相を信じるって言ったんですよ。
Ooh, getting a little high on your own supply here.
さすがにそれは聞き逃せません。っていうか、私をバカにしてるんですか？
I mean, a little.
バカにしてるんじゃなくて、アルクエイドを信じるって言ってるだけでしょ。先輩こそどうして分かってくれないんですか？あいつと協力すれば町はすぐに元通りになるじゃないですか。
彼女と協力するのなんて死んでもお断りです。月を重しにして眠った方がまだマシですから。
Oh, I reckon we can arrange that. Feel like I've heard a similar expression before.
そうですか。死んだ方がマシって話ですか。じゃあ俺も言わせてもらいます。アルクエイドを目の敵にする先輩はなんか全然先輩らしくありません。ブローブの方がマシってレベルで不愉快です。
I mean, if Love wasn't being, crazy, he wouldn't be the worst company in the world, I suppose.
ああ、そうですか。私も同じぐらい不愉快です。
Like, he has the capacity to be civil.
そんなに言うならアルクエイドに騙されていいように使われたらどうですか？そんな人を心配するのもバカらしいですから、私。
まあ余計なお世話だよ。今日から大手を振ってあいつとパトロールできてせいせいする。
We're past the point of
アル
being
クエイドの方
constructive
が
here in
先
this
輩より頼りに
conversation.
なる
This
し
is
強いし、いちいち小言も言わないし。
this is where you just say time out and you both just walk away for like an hour, or maybe even the entire day, and just reconvene.
もういいです。出て行ってください。遠野くんなんか絶好です。こちらもせいせいします。遠野くんなんて頼りにならないし、弱いし、放っておけないことばっかりするし、二度と話しかけたり様子を見に行ったり助けたりしませんから、そのつもり
You're
で。
like 25 to 28. What are you doing right now?
それはよかった。じゃあ勝手にします。失礼しました。
You were acting like a petulant child. You are literally the adult in the room. I shout a retort at Ciel and bolt out of the tea ceremony room. I don't stop, squaring my shoulders as I dash through the hallways back to my classroom.
なんだよ、子供扱いして。先輩だって頑固じゃないか。
Now, I don't do the angry run,
俺
but
の
I
話は全
definitely
然
do the fucking angry walk. Just like he's saying, just like stick your shoulders out, kind of lean forward, like not quite have your hands clenched, but like they're closed and just kind of like angrily walking. That's me when I'm really upset. And I just get a mean scowl, not like I'm making like an grr face, but just like my brow gets tense and I just have such a nonplussed look on my face, which, to be perfectly honest, I kind of have a kind of stern, neutral, resting look to begin with. So when I get in that mood, I am very not approachable, let's say. No, she didn't refuse to hear me out entirely. She let me say my piece and listened patiently. I just got myself all worked up about Arcuid.
でも分からず屋なのは変わらないし。
Yeah, but then we're doing perspective shifting, and it's like, oh, well, she kind of had a point from her point of view. On the brink of calming down, I force myself to keep racing down the hallway. He's like, no, I'm not done being angry yet. I feel like if I stop now, I'll end up going back to the tea ceremony room to apologize. not sure I can say the same thing about me, but I know Arcuate hasn't done anything wrong. So no matter how conflicted I feel, there's no turning back.
おや、昼休みも終わろって時にえらくしけた顔で戻ってきたな。ははん、購買部の袋を持ってるってことはろくなもん残ってなかったな。
Just had to get a piece of like octopus bread. And not like a nice like takoyaki or something, like literally a fucking octopus tentacle sitting in like a bun. The boy who ran away because he was afraid of getting a shot in the back, wearing a look of perfect innocence. Getting a shot is back. Okay, not a shot in the back. I'm like, what? What kind of shit is Arihiko getting into where he's getting shot in the back? No. Afraid of getting a shot is back, wearing a look of perfect innocence. Now that he mentions it, I realize I am still holding the food I had planned on eating with Ciel. Lunch ends within 10 minutes. I'm in no state to eat right now, physically or mentally.
アリヒコ、お前、腹の様子は？
Yeah, we bought this octopus tentacle hot dog thing for you.
まあ8分目ぐらいかね。
It's got mustard on
何
it.
くれんの？
ああ、食べてくれ。ちょっと今は入りそうにない。
No other condiments, just mustard. I hand Arihiko the bag from the school store.
そういうことなら喜んで。お、カレーパン多めだな。というかカレーパンしかないな。あとは牛乳だな。趣味どうかしているな。
Milk. I really need some milk. I've had an urge to buy it. I probably don't have enough calcium in my diet or something. My body's trying to get me to drink some more or get some more in my system. Dude, I could kill like an entire liter of milk right now. Arihiko digs in without a second thought. Fifth period is minutes away, but at that pace, he'll have no trouble finishing it. The bell rings, bringing lunch to an end. Drowning in self-loathing, I put my head down on my desk and wait for the fifth period to start. And with that, ladies and gents, I feel like this is a good place to tap out because I want to get this up before. Well, I was about to say before noon, but it's already 12:30. That's what I get for sleeping in today. What can I say? It was a busy weekend and needed it. God, I fucking needed it. But I want to get it up at least before dark because it's getting dark here early. Like I left work at like 5 o'clock yesterday and it was pitch black out. So yeah. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and check out the Discord in the description down below. And I will see you all later for the continuation and hopefully resolution of this little Ciel Shiki lover spat. And then we can just move on and go fight Roa, I guess. Roa's already dead, so to be perfectly honest, I remember some like key moments from how OG Ciel route ends, but not really a lot of it. Mainly because it just blends together with Arcuate's route in my mind so much. Again, an issue with the original, but hopefully we'll get more interesting new things like we did in this episode next time. Catch you guys all there. Bye-bye now. Mwah.